Welcome to the BJ Show. Let's rock and roll. Rock and roll. Come on, everybody. Let's lose control. Brad and John, they're the ones to follow. Yeah, ready for the ride. It's the BJ Show. BJ Show.
It is the BJ Show. Today's date is Wednesday, February 5th. My name is Brad, the hater Hildebrand, and that guy over there is John, the lover Combest. Is that right? Is that a good typification there? Is that a proper word? Did I do okay, John? Did I good description?
You did. Well, first of all, you did a great job. Second of all, you don't need approval from me. And third of all, that's an appropriate follow-up to A-Block yesterday, Brad. Nice tie-in, because you know I was going to bring it up.
Brad, the hater Hildebrand. Okay. That is John Combest, C-O-M-B-E-S-T. Put a John in front of his name, or let me put that again. C-O-M-B-E-S-T.
That would be John Combest.
Right,
you can call me John, Brad.
John,
Only
John.
you.
Hold on. Wasn't that President Kennedy's son? Didn't they call him John? Anyway, that is John Combest, C-O-M-B-E-S-T. Put a .com at the end of it. You get johncombest.com. Boy, this show's falling apart already, and it's only 7:03. Okay.
Just wait till we get to the top three, Brad. You're going to love it even more.
I'm all excited because I think I fixed a technical problem with our KC machine and our phone thing. So hold on a minute. I got to cough here.
Now, Brad, when you say you fixed a technical issue, that means you wiped KFUO off the map? Is that what you're saying?
No, I would never do that. Okay, I'm going to hit a button here, and we're going to see if Casey comes through at the right level and see if he sounds okay. Who are you again, sir?
I'm Casey Kasem.
Oh, my God, he sounds great. And what do you do?
I'm Casey Kasem. We're on our way to the number one.
And he gets excited because he sounds so good now.
Now on with the countdown. And here they are. We're on our way to the number Casey one. Kasem. And here they are. Now on with the countdown. We're on our way to the number one.
God, they all sound so good. So we'll do this one.
In third place.
Now, Brad, you know I can't hear that, right? I can hear nothing.
You didn't hear in third place?
No, I hear nothing. I hear you thumping on a table.
Okay. I don't know why that is. Now, what did I do?
That's okay. I mean, I can't hear the Polish song or the barbershop song on Friday either. So I just go with it. Okay, hold on a minute. Here, let me before we go any further, let me try this.
In third place.
Did you hear that?
Fantastic. Clear as day.
Okay, go ahead now.
Okay. Brad, one of your favorite stories, I threw this in because I knew you would love this story, Brad. A little bit of good news and a little bit of sad news from the Ritenour School District. If you're new to the show, welcome. Brad and I are two North County boys, North County natives. And Ritenour School District isn't too far from our neck of the woods where we grew up, Brad. I mean, you can just hop in your car and head to Ritenour. They were a part of the Suburban North Conference. And they had some great news over the last couple years because they got $9.5 million in federal funding for electric school buses. Now, Brad, there's only one problem. They were going to get 24 school buses, and they were going to have a big event yesterday to celebrate the first day of having all 24 buses. But, Brad, thanks to Donald Trump and putting a freeze on some clean energy spending, only 3 of the electric buses are in the possession of Ritenour School District right now. The other 21 buses are sitting in some lot in Litchfield, Illinois, until the money gets cleared up. So, Brad, the good folks at the Ritenour School District, black and orange, they got very much a Halloween scheme up there at Ritenour. They had a big party yesterday. They had confetti poppers. I hope they didn't have any champagne. That would be wasteful and alcoholic. But, Brad, they had a little party to celebrate the 3 electric school buses. Now, I know how you are about this, Brad. You think that this is all a big honking waste of money. But the school district points out that by using electric buses, the electric fleet will save between roughly $3.3 million within the next 5 to 8 years. Because, Brad, today the school buses at Ritenour, they are forced to operate on diesel. And I'm going to tell you something, Brad, that's going to scare you. Do you know that there are buses in the Ritenour School District that don't have air conditioning? Can you believe that, Brad?
Oh, my God.
The administrators were talking about how terrible it is in warm months to have students on a bus that doesn't have air conditioning. You stuck your head out the window, Brad. You know the pain of being on a school bus that doesn't have air conditioning. Why is Donald Trump doing this, Brad? I want answers from you.
Okay, first off, how is it saving them money? I think these electric school buses, I've done a little research into this, not recently. I have to dig back into this. I think the electric school buses are like 3 times as expensive as a regular diesel school bus. How is it saving them money?
Because it saves them money over time because they're not purchasing dirty diesel, Brad. And by the way, in case since you're being all financial about this, Brad, the district owes only $830,000 to a vendor for 24 charging stations. So that's a pretty good deal. You can get 24 charging stations for less than $1 million, Brad. So all that needs to happen here, it's a very simple fix. Donald Trump just needs to let a little bit of money go, and we could start this in Ritenour, and then we can have electric school buses all around the area, Brad, and we're going to stop relying on fossil fuels.
Okay, now a couple questions. First off, they don't have the charging stations yet, or they've got them yet, but they haven't paid the vendor. Which one was it?
They have them, and they put it on a credit card, Brad. I don't know if they didn't actually put it on a credit card, but they owe a vendor $830,000. According to Superintendent Chris Kilbride, which is what many grooms want to do when they walk down the aisle. Chris Kilbride says that they're hooked up and ready to go. They're just waiting for the buses here, Brad. Again, can you please get Donald Trump to fix this? Why are we still relying on diesel? Why are we forcing kids to be on a bus that doesn't have air conditioning, Brad?
So the electric buses have air conditioning?
Yeah, of course they do, Brad. They're going to run them at full steam. You can't have kids being a little warm on the way to and from school.
Hold on a minute, John.
You don't want them driving down the rock road,
John,
being a little too hot.
You used improper terms there. You said they're going to run them on full steam, which would mean steam is hot, the air conditioning is cold. John,
that's a great call out, Brad. Thank you for that. That's actually super funny.
John, in all your years in the Hazelwood School District, and mine as well too, did you ever have an air-conditioned bus?
Snot, are you kidding me? Now, to be fair, I graduated from high school in 1996. We didn't have cell phones, Brad. So let's give ourselves a little bit of leeway there. But no, of course we didn't have air-conditioned buses.
We had windows in our buses. That's what we did. We pulled the windows down, and you'd stick your hand out the window a little bit to deflect some of the air into your face. You know what I'm saying? That's the way things work.
I do know. And Brad, just as a 30-second diversion here, I know you went to Twillman Elementary School.
I
went to Larimore Elementary School in the Hazelwood School District. Unless I recall correctly, I don't remember us having air conditioning. I remember our teachers always opening the windows. I could be mistaken. Maybe we had AC, but for some reason, I just remember our teachers always having the windows open in the summer.
John, I went through Twillman, Kirby, and then Hazelwood, and there was no air conditioning in any of those schools. And you know what? Here we go again. I know people out there going like, okay, the next thing you're going to tell us, you walked uphill 10 miles in the snow each way back and forth to school. No, but there was a time, and what's interesting is in my parents' lifetime, I remember my parents talking about this, about the fact that in the summer that they would go to the movie theaters because those were the only places in St. Louis that had air conditioning. You would go to the movie theaters to cool down, and people would sleep on the sides of the road because of the fact that you would sleep there because the cars would drive by and it would create some breeze. Now, who's sleeping beside the roads? The immigrants, right?
Yeah, they're called newcomers, Brad. So let's update our lexicon here. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, this is one of those things that now what I'll credit, and I thought this was pretty creative because conventional wisdom would be that Ritenour would just complain about this. But I love the fact they actually had like a little party because if I'm kind of on that side of the argument, I'm like, hey, by the way, we're having a party for 3 buses, and thanks to Donald Trump, 21 of them aren't here. I should point out that the story was brought to us by Bryce Gray, who is a very good reporter at the Post-Dispatch who covered this. He's very thorough about all these environmental stuff. But I like the fact that Ritenour actually went out and had a party because it's kind of almost like a jerkish thing to do. Like, hey, congratulations to us for getting 3 out of the 24 buses we're supposed to get.
It's actually kind of funny, but it's not. Okay, on to number 2.
Up a notch to number 2.
A little bit of advancement in the Missouri legislature yesterday for an income tax cut, Brad. State Representative Bishop Davidson you know his cousin, Knight Davidson, and there's some family members he doesn't want to claim. They're pawns. But he's from Republic, Missouri, and he has a bill, Brad, that would drop the income tax rate next year to 4%. It's currently 4.7%, and begin a phased-in elimination of the tax. Now, Kurt Erickson from the Post-Dispatch reports that over time, this tax cut could cost Missouri $8.4 billion with a B annually. So Kurt Erickson and a few other reporters across the state have covered this hearing yesterday. And first of all, this is fantastic timing because we're all starting to think about paying our taxes and we're all thinking about what we're giving to the tax man. And as you might predict, Brad, there are some groups that don't like the idea of eliminating the tax because they say that it shifts the burden to other things. For example, levies on services like haircuts, lawn care, real estate. So this Post-Dispatch piece quotes Sam Licklider, who is from the Missouri Realtors. It quotes Amy Bluen, who, by the way, is a wonderful woman from the Missouri Budget Project. Jokes aside, she is a fantastic human being. So a lot of energy in the Capitol for this yesterday, Brad. Americans for Prosperity Missouri had a rally yesterday at the Missouri Capitol. You could see their pictures all over social media. People even posting selfies from the AFP Missouri rally. So because of the grassroots support, and grassroots has a trademark signal after that, because of grassroots support, and especially because of support from Governor Mike Kehoe, there's probably never been more energy behind an income tax cut than there is now. But Brad, we are going to see a ton of opposition to this.
You know, I think it was the one thing that when I was at, where was I at? I was at a luncheon with legislators. This goes back 2 or 3 years ago. And what's his name? Richard West, who is the representative out in the state rep out in the Cottleville area, or not Cottleville, but he's in the New Melle. He used to be the mayor of New Melle. And he gave the statistic that the budget in 7 years in the state of Missouri doubled or some crazy number like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It sure did. Yep.
Ah, man, nuts. Okay. Where's the money go? And by the way, let me just flag this. Is number one talking about the city? Is the number one thing about the city?
It is not. No. You know, I don't cover city politics, Brad, on johncombest.com.
Okay, well, then we need to talk about that in B Block about how the Rams money and the Rams money deal fell apart again. Okay.
Wait a minute. I thought they all got together and they had a pretty civilized conversation about it. Nobody accused other people of being drunk after a temper tantrum. I thought they all got along on that, Brad. Because you know what? On this very radio show, I hear a guy with a lot of political experience and radio experience, more than 50 years in the radio industry, point out the fact that Democrats get along. You know, Republicans should be more like Democrats. You don't see Democrats fighting with each other.
Okay, number one.
The number one.
Some big national stories featuring some role players from Missouri, Brad. I don't mean to demean role players, but supportive roles, I guess you could say, from some Missourians. We'll talk about Eric Schmitt and we'll talk about Josh Hawley. Eric Schmitt got a lot of attention last week when Kash Patel was up in front of a Senate committee talking about the FBI. There's a story today from Nexstar, which owns the Fox 2 St. Louis, Fox 4 Kansas City. And Eric Schmitt played a little bit of Would You Rather with Kash Patel. You ever play Would You Rather, Brad?
I've never done that. I'm not a game guy. If I'm someplace and people bring out board games, it's time for Brad to leave. I just don't playing games.
I think of Would You Rather as more of a game. For example, you might play it with your offspring in the car if you're on a trip to and from school. But Schmitt asked Patel in the hearing, would you rather the FBI prosecute and persecute parents who voice legitimate concerns at school board meetings, or should it investigate domestic terrorists who commit school shootings and threaten the lives of American children? So Eric Schmitt went through a series of Would You Rathers with Kash Patel, really to highlight what the priorities of the FBI should be. So it's terrific. It's up on my website today. That's via Fox 2 News and Nexstar. I'd also point out, Brad, a story about our own Josh Hawley, or as you call him, Pirate Shoes, having a conversation with RFK Jr. about whether or not RFK supports protecting children from transgender surgeries and transgender hormones. RFK Jr. testified that, yes, he does believe in protecting minors from having these life-altering genital mutilation surgeries and hormones. That piece is brought to us by MissouriNet. I would point out people actually go there. You don't have to read the story, but Cheryl Hines is in the background. You know what I'm saying, Brad? She's RFK Jr.'s wife.
Yes, and she's not too tough to look at, is she?
I would knock the cobwebs off that.
Okay. Is that the top three?
Those are the top three, Brett.
Okay, let's map out B block. Okay, first off, B block. Start off B block. Can I give my rant on the post office? I mean,
no, because we're starting B block with KDHX.
Oh, KDHX. That's right. Okay, John, do me a favor, because you're the orderly guy and I'm the disorderly guy. That's how we work. Okay, and B or C block. I want to talk about the post office. And right off the bat, see, once again, there are people, the Democrats, who are just like, OMG, what's he going to do next? The thing where Trump comes out yesterday and says, the United States is going to take over Gaza and turn it into the Riviera of the Mediterranean. I'm thinking to myself, only Trump. Now, I've already got the name for it. Ready for this?
I'm ready, Brad.
It's going to be renamed MAGAza.
What's the M for?
MAGAZA. Get it? MAGAza.
Oh, that's really good.
MAGAza.
That's very good, Brad. Really good. I like that.
MAGAza.
And they can wear red hats. Everything
right.
can be red hat themed.
Okay. Now, what's interesting about this is you think about this for a minute. You go like, okay, that's a hell of an idea. I mean, once again, and yesterday I heard something interesting statistic that landmass, Israel, of the Middle East, landmass Israel is 0.1% of the landmass of the Middle East, okay? And if you look at it on a map, a lot of people don't ever look at maps. I look at maps all the time. Israel is a very, very, very small country. I think it's the size of like Rhode Island or something like that. It's not very big at all, okay? And once again, it's on the Mediterranean Sea. If you and I could buy, and it wasn't such, a war-torn area, you and I would not be able to afford 100 square feet on the Mediterranean coast, practically anywhere else in the Mediterranean. If you go into like the south of France, you go along, the places in Italy that are on the Mediterranean coast. I mean, almost all, Italy sticks down into the Mediterranean Sea. Yep. So almost all of it is Mediterranean coast. It ain't cheap. So, but here you got this area that's stretched. I don't know how long the coastline is. I'll have to look that up, see if I can find a statistic for the coastline in Gaza right now. You move everybody out. The Israelis have already bombed the crap out of it, so it's it's like a wasteland right now. You move everybody out. You get a bunch of American-made Caterpillar dozers and excavators and track loaders and things like that. You clear it out. You build a bunch of resorts there, and you turn it into the beautiful area of MAGAza. And Trump can put a Trump hotel there, and all the crazy things. And you move those people all over the place. And not only that, you can take over the tunnel system and you can make it the caving capital of the world. All the guys who like to crawl around in caves and things like that, the spelunkers and stuff like that, you can make it the ultimate travel destination. You want to lay on the beach and the Mediterranean beach and feel those nice Mediterranean breezes blow against you? It's MAGAza. You want to do spelunking down in the caves? It's MAGAza. You want to be in the Trump Tower on the Mediterranean, coast? It's MAGAza. And you move all those crazy nutbags that live there right now, put them in other places. I mean, I've said this a long time ago. I said that how we satisfy the Israeli people, we give them Nevada. Put all the Israelis in Nevada, and just say, okay, we're going to, because I think this federal government owns like 80% of Nevada already. Just take 100 square miles. Okay, this is New Israel. Call it New Israel. And you move them all over here. That's the two different things. You either do the MAGAza thing, or you move the Israelis into Nevada. What do you think, John? How about my ideas? What do you think?
I think we do MAGAza for sure.
Isn't that great, MAGAza?
I think it's fantastic branding. Yeah, fantastic branding. Brad, before we go to break, are there any radio shows that are on right now that you want to apologize to?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, why would I want to apologize at any radio show?
Okay, all right. Hey,
John, I'm the guy that says
you're
right
the
now.
guy, Brad. You're the guy.
I'm the guy that says right now, if you don't like what John and I are doing, you can tune over to 97.1, listen to Mark Cox and Kim St. Ange, who do an excellent show. You can go over to 93.3 or whatever they're 107.1.
Yeah.
69.
I just thought maybe you wanted to make up another quote this morning, but if you don't want to, we'll just make that a weekly thing.
69.2. You can watch Tracy on channel 46. I mean, she's everywhere, and you can listen to my old buddy Dan Strauss. You can go listen to the guy who almost died of COVID. If you know the story on News Talk STL, or you can listen to KFUO play organ music. I mean, you can do all those things. But
I'm definitely listening to KFUO because you know what? We're parts unknown. Nobody knows where our station is. It's 104.5, Brad. And we're like pro wrestlers. We're from parts unknown.
That's right. Okay, 7 parts unknown. You're exactly right. I forgot about that. And from parts unknown.
From parts unknown, KSLQ.
Right.